Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with a very interesting combination today. We got some sweet corn, shiitake mushroom, and arugula that we're basically going to saute together. And you'll read on the blog, why in the middle of summer am I using frozen corn? Hence the mysterious music. All right, I'll explain there, but I got some sweet corn. All right, that's 2 cups. I have 6 fairly large shiitake mushrooms. Now amounts, don't worry too much. I got a big handful of arugula, and maybe that's about 1.5 cups, 2 cups, and 1 clove of garlic. So let's get our prep started here. Now, as you well know, you've heard me say before, shiitake stems not edible. Well, technically they are, but they're very tough and fibrous. See, I can't even break it, and I'm pretty strong. So we're going to take those out with a paring knife before we slice them into uniform slices. Now, you know my philosophy. You decide how thin to slice them, just do them all the same. Okay, so they cook the same. So there's our shiitake sliced. The arugula, we are just going to roughly chop, so grab a handful and cut it in like, I don't know, 1/2-inch slices. There's our arugula. If you see any obvious stems, take them out, but the stems are edible, so don't worry too much. And let's get started. In a saute pan, all right, on high heat, see, you saw a little wisp of smoke there? I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to add my shiitake mushrooms and just a tiny chunk of butter. I could barely measure that, maybe 1/3 of a teaspoon, just to give it a little bit of extra richness, and a pinch of salt, maybe 1/2 teaspoon. And we're going to cook these shiitake. We're going to saute these, and they're going to wilt down by about half the size, and they're going to start to brown. Now, this is kind of a personal preference thing, but the longer you cook shiitake, the darker they get, the meatier the flavor, and the deeper and richer the flavor. All right, so you'll see how far down I went. Really interesting combination here. You think you've eaten everything at my age, but I've never had shiitake, corn, and arugula before. I had it at a restaurant as a side dish, and it was incredibly delicious. It actually kind of tasted like truffles, which was hard to explain. But anyway, see that? I cooked that for about 10 minutes until those shiitakes were kind of browned, and they shrunk up pretty good there. So I'm going to turn the pan down to medium here. I'm going to add a clove of minced garlic, okay? And I'm going to give that a quick saute. And then I'm going to add my drained, very well drained, thawed sweet corn. All right, now again, it's the middle of summer. The corn is piled high on all the farmers market tables in the supermarkets, yet I'm using frozen corn. Why? It's a teaser. You got to read the blog. All right, I'll tell you. I had some frozen corn in the freezer. I cleaned out my freezer. I didn't want to throw it away. All right, to the corn, I'm going to add a cup of chicken stock, a pinch of black pepper to taste, and we're going to cook this on medium heat until the stock almost evaporates. Okay, how long is that going to take? I don't know. For me, it took about 10 minutes. Now, it's going to get a little sticky. See, corn has a starch in it. You may have heard of it, cornstarch. All right, so the liquid's going to evaporate, and the mushrooms and the corn are going to get a little bit sticky, which is what we want. It's a really nice texture. I'm going to turn the heat off once the liquid is almost evaporated, because there's plenty heat in that corn and that mushroom mixture to wilt this arugula. So the heat is off. Turn the heat off. Throw in your couple handfuls of chopped arugula, and just give it a stir. Now the light was going down. This was late afternoon, and the light was coming in the window. And I believe in omens. So when that sunlight hit my saute pan, I said, it's done. Stop. Put it in a bowl and serve it. Because the residual heat is going to continue to wilt that arugula. So even though a few pieces don't look completely wilted, that's fine. Because as we put this in the bowl, like I say, it's going to continue to cook. And again, this combination, the earthiness of the mushroom, the arugula, the corn, the sweetness, it was such a great combination. I really hope you give this a try. I served it with some blackened pork, some chili rubbed pork. I'll show you that in another demo. But it was a great combination. So go to the site, read the blog as usual. You'll see all the ingredients, and enjoy.